Welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. So, where we last left off, well, surprise, surprise, Castle decided to crash the party. Although this one common plot twist was both Burn and Battler became the game masters at the same time. Although Castle declared that she took Angie hostage in exchange of challenging Balor to another match. Although this game is different because it's this whole like you know it's a fucking it's a different game. Although it's a little bit simplified. So which I find it a bit skeptical because I'm pretty sure past episodes where most of the stuff just flew o- it just flew over the top of my head. So there's that. All right, well, let's continue. Lambda clapped her hands. A pleasant sound rang out.
朗読はベルンが
She's gonna be the reader.
それとも私が引き受けようかしら朗読者は不要よ
You don't need a reader? What do you...
朗読の巫女は自分の口を通して物語を脚色することも歪めることもできる
Wow.
たとえ私のゲームに小細工がなくとも朗読の術でいくらでもそれをすることができるそうであるな
True.
それもまたゲームマスターの権利の一つだあんたたちとしたい決闘はシンプルでありたいのだから朗読者はいらないあなたたちが自らの目と耳で物語を読みなさい
You can read it with your own eyes and ears. Okay.
いいのそれじゃベルンに有利なことがなくなっちゃうじゃない
Whatever happened to your fucking bravado?
わかった。朗読者はいらない。俺たちが自分で物語を読む。
朗読者がいないということはいわゆる物語のとがきに一切の虚偽が混じらぬということか
受けて立つぞ、ベルンカステル。何の小細工もない正真正銘のミステリーの一騎打ち。お前の正々堂々を俺たちも正面から受け止めてやれ。
ありがとう負けないわよ私も
Test.
それではダメであるなベルン教よ
ああ、そうだな。ミステリーを突きつける魔女はそんな態度じゃダメだぜ。ああ、全然ダメだな。
The good old useless catchphrase. Castle, realizing what Battler and Beata were asking for, snorted. Lambda Delta nodded at her, telling her to enjoy this final duel to the fullest.
人間と魔女が仲良く肩を並べてミステリー談義なんて
I don't know.
バカバカしいわ笑えるわあんたたちの仲良しミステリーが私の用意したミステリーに通用するかどうか試してあげる受けてみなさい私のミステリー そうでなくては。奇跡の魔女ベルンカステル教の挑戦状、確かに受け取ったぞ。
さあ勝負開始だ。ゲームマスター後宮バトラ、そして無限の魔女ベアトリーチェがお相手してやる。ぶっ飛ばされても泣くんじゃねえぞ。
食らうといいわ。これがベルンカステルのミステリー。
Bernkastel took a fragment containing the game and smashed it against the table, shattering it with a brilliant light as the game scenario laid itself out. The curtain rose on the mystery Bernkastel had created. Alright. No sound but that of the falling rain filled the room. It covered the tragic scents in the bloody dining hall. At some point, Angie had fainted and fallen to the floor. Now her consciousness was slowly returning, forcing her to remember what had happened in this room. So, she reflexively averted her gaze even before the memory overtook her. 6 bodies lay in the blood-stained dining hall. Strangely enough, as her consciousness returned bit by bit, the terrifying scene before her seemed somehow less intense. This time, Angie was able to look at the 6 corpses well enough to make out who they were. First, those are my own parents. They're a pitiful sight colored bright red by a bloody makeup. And lying next to them are Uncle Hideyoshi and Aunt Eva. Uncle Hideyoshi, the uncle who always says funny things and makes me laugh, and Aunt Eva, the aunt who seems to be so fond of me. Genji-san, the servant, is lying over there. And the one dying right here is Aunt Rosa. 6 people. A full 6 people had their lives taken from them and are lying in this room. Maybe I cried myself out before I fell unconscious. Probably. Where are the riddles? The riddles are already passed on by. Except I replayed all of them and they're going up on YouTube. So if you go back on the uploads I had from the past week, I've replayed those riddles, especially on stream too when Sanity was around. So right now we are getting to the but I'm getting to the serious part of the this episode. So anyway, maybe I cried myself out before I fell unconscious. The scene before me was still terribly painful, but I was somehow able to look at it without losing my head. You know what's the weird thing? I was gonna... What was the one game I was gonna play on stream back then, but I completely didn't have the chance to? I was gonna play Helltaker on stream, but I was like, you know what? I don't have enough, visual novel parts worth of record, so I'm doing this. The scene before me was still terribly painful, but I was somehow able to look at it without losing my head. I already felt all the sadness I could at my parents' deaths. The next emotion that rose up inside me was a desire to check and see that everyone else was okay. In that instant, I heard a scraping sound. Just as I was about to relax again, thinking I must have imagined it, I heard the same sound again. It was probably coming from the door. Someone was clawing at the door from the outside. Could it be a cat, or could it be someone like begging for help? Of course, I had no way of knowing who it was. However, for some reason, I was sure that it was that black cat scratching at the door. The black cat was telling me to leave this room. I understood and put my hand on the doorknob. I immediately noticed something odd. The door was locked. The same bad feeling I'd felt after being locked in the parlor crawled up my spine. However, unlike the time in the parlor, this door unlocked itself easily when I turned the knob. I unlocked it and slowly opened the door. Beyond the door, I could see the dimly lit hallway and a cat dashing down it, oh, dashing down it away from me. Then it stopped, its emerald eyes glittering in the darkness as though it was waiting for me to follow. The hallway was dark and wrapped in an eerie silence. When the black cat saw that I was coming, it walked forward as if guiding me. I could hear nothing except the creaking of the floor, the bell of the cat, and the sound of the storm outside. The party is being held in the hall. I should be able to hear at least a little of the noise from this hallway.
私が食堂で意識を失ってる間に深夜になっちゃったのかな。
It was a reasonable conclusion. Then we finally reached the main hall. The hall was frigid and no trace of that party remained. Really? You mean it? That's strange. Because when Angie was outside the mansion, then the party was there. But now that she's inside the mansion, the party isn't there. Have we just entered another alternate nightmare? I don't know. Could all of that fun have been just an illusion? Maybe. The black cat's bell rang out. When I looked up, I saw that it had its feet on the stairway to the second floor, urging me to follow it.
2階に行くの？
The black cat seemed to nod, then silently went up the stairs. Guests were allowed to go whenever they wanted on the first floor. But the second floor was Krause's family house, and I remembered getting in trouble for trying to go up there. However, at that moment, I couldn't think of any options other than following that cat. I walked along the dark hallway with the black cat. Eventually, we reached one of the doors. The black cat scratched at the door, then turned to look at me. It must have been telling me to open it.
開けるね。
I put my hand on the doorknob and felt the resistance of a lock again. This door is locked. I turned around to tell the cat this, but inexplicably, a single key lay right in front of the cat. What, did the cat throw up the key as a hairball? I wouldn't be surprised. Angie picked it up and stuck it in the keyhole. As she did, she finally noticed something strange with her fingertips. Blood. Somehow, Angie's fingertips had been stained red with blood. She let out a short cry and the key slipped out and fell to the ground. She finally realized, in the darkness she hadn't noticed before, the black cat's key was covered with blood. The emotions that had gone numb in Angie sprang back. A terrified scream rang out through the dark hallway. Even so, Angie would eventually open that door. That door led to Natsuki's room. Natsuki's room was a terrible mess. Blankets and sheets were torn. Cosmetics and books lay all over the place as though a typhoon had just ripped through it. And there were corpses. Kraus and Natsuki's corpses lay sprawled on the floor. Very shortly, Angie will step into this room. She will then scream in terror once more. And it isn't limited to the dining hall and Natsuki's room. In the stormy rose garden, Shannon's tragic corpse lies exposed. Partway down the path to the rose garden is Jessica's corpse. My god. Just updates right around in that one? Oh, not yet. When Angie finds that, she'll probably dash crying and screaming into the guest house. And death awaits her inside the guest house as well. Just inside the front door is Nanjo's corpse. In the servant room nearby, even Goda and Kumasawa lie dead. The total number of corpses is 13. A full 13 corpses are waiting for Angie. They wait in the mansion, in the guest house on this desolate Rokujima, for Angie exposed to the wind and rain and tormented by thunder to find them. Wow. It ends on the chapter just like that. I feel that's a bit for someone to get perturbed with that one. Burns puzzle versus Twilight. The tragedy of the first. Oh boy. Maybe we are getting bit of a riddle coming up because this is a bit of part of the mystery game after all. Oh boy. The tragedy of the first Twilight was discovered at 6 in the morning on the following day. Goda, who had woken up to get breakfast ready, went to check on the adult siblings, who had remained in the dining hall since the previous night because of the family conference.
死体発見時のことを話してくれ。食堂は施錠されていました。
I'm actually curious what it means for the words to be in purple. No. Yeah, it doesn't really say. The dining hall was locked up.
確かに食堂に鍵はついていますが、普段施錠することなどありません。ノックしたのですが、返事はなく。
It's weird. The dining hall was locked up. I guess the words in purple mean. I guess the sentence in purple means like something to do with the important scenario. But I could be wrong though. I don't know how this works.
そこに私が来たのです。
That's when I arrived.
万一のこともあるから鍵を開けてみたらと勧めたのです。
マスターキーで扉を開けると、中は恐ろしいことに。
So that's when you unlock the door with the master key, then there's something disturbing inside the dining hall. It's crazy because normally the dining hall is always unlocked, but because it's locked, then maybe there's something what to do with there's something that inside of what's going on there. Man, I'm stumbling. God.
エヴァ様、秀吉様、ルドルフ様、キリエ様、ローザ様、そして源氏さんの。
Damn. George's parents, Angie and Battler's parents, Maria's mother, and even the old head butler.
計6人が血まみれになって倒れていたのでございます。
それであとは大騒ぎだ。全員が食堂に集まった。
So, the first Twilight caused obviously 6 people to be killed off, and it follows up to everyone being gathered in the dining hall.
思い出したくもあります。それぞれの親の亡骸にすがり泣き叫ぶ子供たち。
Poor Battler.
ひょっとしたら生きているかもと。みんな懸命に揺さぶってたぜ。
しかしダメでした。お子様方はそれぞれ自分の親が間違いなく死んでいることを確認なさいました。
The deaths of each parents were confirmed by their own children. That's the thing, though. Like, I guess technically they can tell by putting their fingers on the pulse and all whatnot to see whether they're alive. But no, I guess it's confirmed on their case.
僕と南條先生は源氏様が死んでいることを確認しました。
Nanja and I confirmed that Genji was dead. And I means canon.
むごたらしい殺され方でした。私でなくとも誰も検視は謝りません。
犠牲者はみんな即死だったろうね。
Looks like all of the victims died instantly, with the smug look on Maria's face. You know, this feels a little bit weird. Oh no! And all because Rosa is dead. That means she's gonna make that maniacal laughter all she wants. Oh God, help me! Why am I even doing this?
食堂内を調べた結果、扉も窓もすべて施錠され、密室であったことが分かった。
After inspecting the interior of the dining hall, we determined that all of the doors and windows had been locked, making it a locked room. So it's a Is this one of those closed room shenanigans again? Oh boy.
そして食堂内から不審なものは何も見つからなかった。
Nothing suspicious were found inside the dining hall? That's... I don't know.
もちろん食堂内に何者かが隠れているということもなかった。
It rubs the question of how were they, like, how were they killed off, or like, well, it's not really how, but it's like, what does the dead body even look like? It said like bloody makeup, but all it said is like, oh, they died. Well, that could mean like the guess of like, oh, maybe they could be food poisoned. And their faces got melted off. Doesn't really say so. Well, somebody chat reacted, so I hope you're having it. Oh my God, I can't even talk right now. I hope you're having a good day at the least.
隠れるも何も。私たちは今ここに全員がいるではないか。誰も隠れていないことは明白だ。
It's clear that no one is hiding.
でも父さん、 となるとおかしいよ。殺された6人、食堂は密室。どうやって殺して逃げたんだ。
考えたくはありませんが、マスターキーを持つ使用人が怪しいでしょう。
The servants. So you think the servants are the most suspicious?
6人を殺し、マスターキーで施錠して食堂を出た。妥当な推理だ。
Could be a possibility. Or, maybe someone, pickpocketed the master key and I mean, obviously Genji has the master key for himself, so that's one way to do so, but
とんでもありません。
since there was no chance of the culprit hiding inside the dining hall, it made sense to assume that the culprit locked the door after committing the murder and exiting the room. It was only natural that the servants with their master keys would fall under suspicion. And sadly enough, none of the servants had an alibi. Then again, it wasn't only the servants. Everyone else lacked an alibi as well.
マスターキー以外の方法で外から施錠する手段は
存在しないわ。
Really? You mean to tell me that you can't use like a hairpin or some shit like that to fiddle with the lock?
これじゃダメね。
I mean, I'm pretty sure someone will call me out for fucking guessing or making assumptions, but
赤き真実で語るわ。
in red, I thought we're playing a different game here.
すべての扉の施錠、解錠はマスターキーでしか行えない。
All doors can only be locked or unlocked with master key. Well, yeah, per se, but it doesn't really help that anyone can use a different alternative tool for that. So that's kind of a bit debatable in nature.
もちろん部屋の内側からはマスターキーがなくとも施錠、解錠が可能。
Yeah, that's... If you're saying it's only can only be locked or unlocked with the key, then I mean you're just saying that's only the one thing. Marine edits. I'm gonna call you by edits. I hope you're doing all right. So, but yeah, hi there, or yo. It's a pretty interesting way to say hi. You know, is this a story about gods playing The Sim? Kind of. But if anything, it's this is some this is a fantasy mystery bullshit that you're going through. That's pretty interesting. You have a Walter White. I used to watch Breaking Bad, so be it as it may.
だそうよ。他に質問は？
マスターキーの他にも
各部屋固有の鍵があるはずでは。
本来なら存在するわね。
This is crazy. I'm playing the very last episode of this visual novel, and then you know. Normally I would put a spoiler tag, but hey, what can you do? I'm just doing this for the sake of streaming it.
でもゲームが複雑になるので排除させてもらったわ。赤き真実。マスターキー以外の鍵は存在しないこととする。
The only keys?
つまりこのゲームに登場する全ての施錠はマスターキーでしか開け閉めができないってわけか。
That sounds like some bullshit. Can only be used with a key, huh?
そうなるわね。実にシンプルなゲームだわ。
となれば次はマスターキーの本数と所持者を確定せねばな。
It's one way to do it.
マスターキーは合計5本。5人の使用人が1本ずつを持ってる。特別な方法で管理されていて、マスターキーは常に身につけられており、奪うことも譲渡することも自分以外の人間が使用することもできない。
So you can't really. Oh, okay, so I guess I guess most of my possibilities are just invalid. Well, that's the thing, right? You kind of have to convince some way to do it to like.
なんだそりゃ。それはもはや鍵ってより指紋認証システムみたいなもんだな。
Fingerprinting system.
面白い例えよ。つまりこのゲームの世界ではマスターキー云々ではなく使用人5人にしか開閉はできぬというわけだ。
源氏さんのマスターキーを回収しようとしたんだがどうにもならなくてね。
後のトラブルを予防するため源氏のマスターキーを破壊しておきました。
Oh, you destroyed the master key? What the fuck? That's not something I would see from the previous episodes of this visual novel. What the hell? Dude, out of all the episodes, I have not seen one person. There's not even one character that would ever do that. I thought they really rigged the game to make it so like, oh, you can't steal the key off of the dead servant beforehand. This was the crime of the first Twilight. The scene was the locked, closed room of the dining hall. None of the servants holding master keys have alibis. Then again, no one else has an alibi either. Second Twilight. Is this the... Oh god, is this the moment where I gotta fucking, like, go through all the Twilight? This is gonna be a fucking long part. Everyone returned to the parlor to discuss what should be done next. The phones were out, so they couldn't contact the police. Was the mysterious culprit hiding away somewhere, planning to attack their next victim at this very moment? Or was the culprit in here with them, mentally sticking out their tongue and tasting their next prey? Tasting their next prey. That's funny. Oh boy. Like, what the fuck? None of them had alibis, and any one of them could have been the culprit. However, that tense feeling didn't last long. By midday, everyone got tired of arguing and they decided to take a break. Kraus and Natsuki announced that they wanted to talk with each other alone and went up to the second floor. That was the beginning, and after that, everyone went their separate ways, now and then, such as to head to the bathroom or gaze at the endless rain. However, no matter how much time passed, Kraus and Natsuki were the only ones who didn't return. Calls were sent to both Kraus and Natsuki's rooms using the extension phone line, but there was no answer. Something might have happened. Everyone headed to Kraus's and Natsuki's rooms together, and in Natsuki's room, they found Kraus and Natsuki lying sprawled on the floor. Well,
奥様の部屋は施錠されておりました。食堂の時と同じです。
well, here's the thing though. You don't even need to use the master key for the bedroom. If anything, the Natsuki has the room key for herself, so.
皆さんの許可を得て私が鍵を開けました。
Oh, okay, well, you unlock the door.
部屋の中にはクラウス様と夏日様が倒れていました。
Yeah?
南條先生がすぐに脈を取ったぜ。そして二人とも即死だったと宣言した。
はい、私が2人の死亡を確認しました。あれは間違いなく即死でした。
Well,
私は何かの手がかりがないか部屋中を探し回ったよ。その結果、窓も扉も完全に施錠されていて密室だったことが分かった。
so there are two Twilights. It's always the same shit. A locked room, as usual.
またしても密室。またしてもマスターキーを持つ私たちが疑われることに。
しかしご安心を。奥様に疑われていた私たちは互いを見張り合っていたのです。
私たち使用人全員は常に一緒におりました。
僕たち使用人全員はそれぞれが使用人全員のアリバイを証明できます。
こりゃ面白い。今度はさらに完璧な密室だって言いたいのか。
最初の密室には全員にアリバイがなかった。そして今度の密室には全員にアリバイがあることになっている。
No one had an alibi in the first closed room, but no, not why closed room? It's first Twilight, if I think about it, and then second Twilight. All of them have alibis.
この世界では使用人たちそのものが生きたマスターキーとなっている。その使用人たちのアリバイが完璧である以上、夏日の部屋の施錠は不可能だぞ。
僕たちは現場を保全することにした。
外からガムテープでベタベタと窓や扉を封印したよ。
Damn, duct tape. Duct tape, packing tape. The same shit.
きっとこの部屋に犯人の何かの手がかりが残ってるはず。
警察が来るまで絶対誰の出入りもできないようにした。
Made sure that no one will be able to enter or leave. Well,
となりゃ
duh.
食堂も同じだ。俺たちはさらに食堂も同様に封印した。
そもそも屋敷自体を保全するべきではということになりましてな。屋敷自体にも封印をし、私たちは全員ゲストハウスへ避難しました。
Damn, not allowed to go inside the mansion, huh?
屋敷全体に封印？
Yeah, but how are we gonna sealing the whole mansion means that how are we gonna get some? How are we gonna go back to get food though?
窓全部をベタベタとか？はしごをかけて3階の窓までか？
ゲームが複雑になるので単純化するわ。すべての窓には鉄格子が入っており、窓からの出入りは不可能である。よって玄関と裏口の2つの扉を封印するだけで屋敷は封印できることにす
る。なるほどな。そりゃ簡単だ。
Sure. But because of what it said in red, that means we don't even need to use fucking packing tape. So, but
どう考える？
夏日おばさんの部屋にいた2人を殺すこと自体はたやすい。ノックをして開けてもらえばいいだけの話だ。しかしその後に施錠ができない。
施錠は使用人にしかできないが、使用人全員にはアリバイがあるぞ。
only the servants can lock the door. A room key can lock the door as well. It's not like there's a dining hall key in the first Twilight. Okay.
使用人全員がグルって可能性さえなけりゃな。俺はそれより第一の番をまだ疑ってるぜ。
I feel like the first Twilight makes less sense than the second one. If you ask me. Unbelievable.
食堂で死んでいた6人の誰かが生きていて犯行をということか。
エリカの影響でな。どうにも剣士ってやつを疑わずにはいられね
え。つまり最初の食堂の6人の犠牲者の誰かが生きていたと。
ああ。そしてその後クラウス夫妻を殺した。そして内側から施錠し室内に隠れていて木を見て逃げ出したんだ。
Well, if you think about it, Berncastle did, brought Erica from the abyss to this episode. I don't know.
筋の通った推理であるぞ。
赤で語るわ。第一の番の犯人が確実に6人を殺してい
る。ならばわらわも青き真実で追求しようぞ。
Are we even allowed to?
密室の正体はこうだ。 犯人は内側から施錠し、夏日の部屋内に隠れていたのだ。そして一同が退出した後、木を見て脱出した。
The culprit locked the door from the inside, hidden Natsuki's room. They found an opportunity to escape after everyone left. Huh.
いいわ、赤で否定する。一同は退出と同時に部屋を封印した。その退出に犯人は加われない。そして夏日の部屋、食堂、屋敷のすべての封印は決して破られることはない。
Well, it's like how are they gonna slip out of the barrier? Hmm?
ってことはつまりベッドの下に隠れて後でこっそり抜け出すというトリックは使えないってことなのね。
Can't use the hiding under the bed tactic.
面白い。なかなかだぜ、ベルンカステル。
どうも。
This was the crime of the second Twilight. The scene was Natsuki's room, a locked, closed room. This time all of the servants with master keys have alibis. Fucking allergies. The whole group, realizing the dangers of being inside the mansion, took shelter in the guest house. Fourth Twilight. Damn, no third. Damn, bro. Not like this. Oh my god. It's wild, dude. I think we're at a pretty alright duration for it. Alright. So where have I what have I learned? Angie discovered like 15 dead bodies. No, not 15, 13 dead bodies. Just to make a little bit of correct. I hope I'm being correct there. And we were going through Twilights like before the whole situation happened. The first Twilight was the first 6 dead bodies in the dining hall. And the second one is Kraus and Natsuki killed off in Natsuki's room. It feels simplified, but at the same time, that's pretty it's kind of a wild notion. Oh well. But yeah, it does have like some sort of an odd change to it comparing to the previous episode. The closed room is always the usual, right? Which is maybe a bit tiring. At the same time, maybe it has some sort of different interest to it. But yeah, that will be the end of this part. So that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.